Hi, everyone, and thanks for checking out this movie review. So, I thought I would come on here and do a quick review on a movie that I watched recently for my collection, for my horror anthology collection. And that is, I don't know if you can see that with the light, The ABCs of Death, the original one from 2012. So, yeah, I'm just going to kind of give you my thoughts watching it for the first time. Um, Kind of what I thought of it as a horror anthology. As most of you know, if you follow my channel, my favorite subgenre is horror anthologies. So yeah, we'll just kind of get into it. So the ABCs of Death is a 2012 American anthology horror comedy film produced by international producers and directed by filmmakers from around the world. The film contains 26 shorts, each by different directors spanning 15 countries. I'm not going to get into the names of the directors because I won't be able to pronounce half of them, but the film is divided into 26 individual chapters, each helmed by a different director assigned a different letter of the alphabet. So basically, you have 26 shorts, A through Z. So that's how you get 26. They're all about 3 to 5 minutes long, I would say. So pretty short. The directors were then given free rein in choosing the word to create a story involving death. So that was basically the directors were given a letter, come up with a word. Come up with a word to create a story involving death. It has to be about death, and then the varieties of death range from accidents to murders, basically in the movie. So that's basically the gist of it. As far as my thoughts go, like some horror anthologies, it's a very mixed bag. First of all, I have to say it doesn't really feel like a horror anthology. Not your typical horror anthology anyway. It doesn't have a framing story, it doesn't have like a wraparound story or anything. And instead of having like 4 or 5 shorts that are about 15 minutes long, like I said, it's 26 shorts that are about 3 to 4 minutes long. So it's very different in that regard. But again, I was interested in watching it, and so I'll start with my pros. And I'm not going to go through each one of the letters because this video would be like 35 minutes or something. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to say what my favorite letters were, my favorite shorts based on those letters, and then the ones that were my least favorite that I probably will never watch again. So prose wise, I like the anthologies that have different directors from so many different countries. It definitely gives the film a different perspective, a different style, and this film certainly does that. I think that's the best part of this anthology, actually, just the diversity there that's involved in it. There was a nice variety of shorts, as it mentioned, where there were some that had humor, some that had more horror, and some that just had just flat out creative ideas and how they went about it. And so, as far as cons go, like, as I said, it doesn't feel like a typical horror anthology, at least not the kind that I enjoy with a framing story or a wraparound story, whatever have you. It feels more like a DVD of a film festival, a DVD of a bunch of film festival short movies, basically. Um, they're not connected at all. They're basically like 26 different short movies. Some of the acting's pretty bad in some of them. There's no overall cohesiveness to the movie, obviously, because you have 26 different shorts by 26 different directors, and they just don't tie into to each other, which I thought they could have. I thought they could have spent more time on kind of making them gel a little bit, but I suppose it's hard when you're directors from 15 different countries, 26 of them. So anyway, those are sort of my thoughts from a pros and cons standpoint. I'll kind of get into what my favorites were now and then my least favorites, and they're probably going to vary, or they're probably going to be a lot different than other people. I don't know, but first one I liked was C for Cycle. I'm just going in order from A to Z. C for Cycle's the first one that stood out to me. This is the one where the guy comes out and he's got there's the circle of blood in his yard, and it kind of takes. I just thought it was really creative and really cool and intriguing. Um, and then the way it ended as well. I really enjoyed that one, so that stood out. D for Dogfight, I think was really well done from a visual style standpoint. It's also kind of an interesting story. I really like that one. Um, I'm probably on this next one. I'm probably in the minority on this, but N for Nuptials, I actually kind of liked from a comedy standpoint. I actually thought this was probably the funniest one. This is the one where the guy's got the parrot, and the parrot's, and then there's a ring he's going to ask his girlfriend to get engaged to him, to get married, and the parrot basically gives away that he's been seeing other women and stuff, and then of course she gets pissed and stabs him. I don't know. It's there's not much to it. It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of a funny break at that time, maybe, that I needed. So, and for nuptials, and then, like most people, K for or Q. I'm sorry, not K. Q for Quack has to be on there, just because I like the fact that the directors kind of did the fourth wall thing, and kind of like, oh, well, we got the letter Q. What the hell are we going to do with that, And then they come up with the word quack, and they're gonna basically shoot this duck, and it just kind of goes pear shaped, and there's good humor in that one too. It was just really creative, and I really enjoyed the way that they went about it with their letter. S for Speed is one that that I liked. I liked the hooded figure. I thought he had a good look to him, and just the story of it itself, the fact that you're not really sure what's going on, and then when you find out at the end, it's got a nice little twist for a short story. T for Toilet, I thought was the best sort of claymation or non-live action movie, if you want to say. There were a lot of movies about toilets, actually. I think at least three that I can think of. There might have been more, but T for Toilet, I thought, was the best one. This is the claymation one where the kid's afraid, and the toilet ends up turning and having teeth and killing his parents, and then of course he wakes up and it was a dream, but then there's a nice twist at the end. The toilet still ends up getting them. I don't know. I just really enjoyed that one. And then You for Unearthed, I liked, with the POV shots, with the basically the vampire that's being attacked by the humans. Um, I really enjoyed. I just thought it was a really well shot film, and there's some decent scares and gore in it. And then of course, Y for Young Back, or Young Buck. I'm sorry, I wrote Young Back. It's Young Buck. This one's probably the most disgusting to me, the creepiest, and if you've seen it, you know why. But it also has a great, it just got a great full circle, I guess. Um, but yeah, there's one part that's just really gross. It almost makes me yak. If you've seen the movie, you probably know what I'm talking about. But this is the one with the creepy janitor that takes the young boy out hunting to shoot a deer, and he's obviously a sexual pedophile. Sorry, not pedophile. I was going to say sexual predator slash pedophile, I guess. Um, and then it just, yeah, it's good. It's good. I enjoyed it. It stands out, but there's just one part that's really gross. I'm going to shout out a couple of honorable mentions too that stood out. V for Victisus. Victisus. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Fictitious. I'm not sure. But it's basically the sci-fi one, where they're in the future, like it's 2035 or something. You got the family with the young kid, and you have to basically get permission from the government or the authorities to get pregnant now and have kids, and that's what this one officer does. And then they track down this family of three, or yeah, the parents and the young baby, and it's really off the wall, and it doesn't all make sense. But I give them credit for the fact that it was different than all the rest of them. They went to a sci-fi route, and so that one stood out. And then the other one an honorable mention that a lot of people talk about is X for XXL, or double XL, I guess. This one was also really gross, but I thought it was really well done as far as like the visuals go and the gore effects and the effects of it. This is where the lady is basically being fat shamed throughout most of the movie, and then she goes home and cuts it off herself in the shower, and only like her bloody skeleton comes out, or like the skeletal of her body, and it's really gross. It also has a great lesson on society, a great point on society. So yeah, those were all the my favorite ones, as well as some honorable mentions. Now we'll get into my least favorite. F for Fart. Never watch it again. It was pointless. It was. I'm sure some people found it funny, but it's whatever. G for Gravity, I think, was the laziest one. This is the one where the guy has a surfboard and the bag of bricks, and he basically drowns himself. It was, I don't even know if that was a 2 minute film. It felt like the director of that one just, had an hour to kill or something to put that together. So K for Clutch. This is one of the animated ones that was just stupid, where this woman and her turd basically are like slipping away from her and ends up killing her by falling back into her anus at the end. Yeah, no. M for Miscarriage is another one that was very short and pointless. I wasn't really sure what the point of it was. You basically see a fetus in the toilet that clearly this woman passed. It just, I don't know. What was the point? And then the last one is Z for Zetsumetsu. Zetsumetsu, I think it's called. Um, this one had promise at the beginning when I first started watching it. It had a lot of style and different images, but the way it ended, it was it's kind of like one of those WTF ones. Like, and there were a few of those in this, but that one stood out. Like, not really a great way to wrap up the movie. So, yeah, those are my thoughts, guys. Very mixed. I haven't seen the second one, or I think there's a 2.5 one as well. I'm not really sure if I'm going to. I'm not going to rush out and get them right now. Some people say the second one is a little better. I don't know. Go ahead and give me your thoughts down below, though. Overall, I'm probably going to give this like a. I'll be well, I'm leaning towards like around seven, somewhere to 6.5 to 7 out of 10, I would say, and that's being generous. I feel like considering there's 26 shorts, and I really only like seven of them, not even half. The ones that I didn't mention here were fine. I mean, they ranged from okay, I get it, to not too bad as far as the directorial style goes standpoint. I just didn't the short didn't necessarily stand out to me or wasn't my favorite, the ones that I didn't mention, but I either didn't hate it or I didn't love it. It was just kind of there. It was fine. But yeah, 6.5 to 7 out of 10 for my rating on this. Go ahead and give me your thoughts, guys, on the ABCs of Death, the original from 2012. Please like this video and hit the little notification bell for future reviews. But comment down below what your favorites were and what your least favorites were, the ones you hated and don't have any plans to watch again. Also, let me know about the part, if any of you have seen the second one or the 2.5 one. Let me know if you think it's better, if you would recommend either one of them, or if it's about the same. Please subscribe to my channel to see future reviews, and thank you for watching. Stay scared. Bye.